welcome back to another episode of All Things Ghostly. My name is Abby. I am your host. Welcome if you've never been here before, and welcome back if you've seen me around the block a few times. If you didn't know, this is a paranormal podcast. We talk about a bunch of fun things related to the paranormal, also some quite serious things related to the paranormal, but today is definitely a more fun episode, and I am so excited to be doing it. Today's topic is about Lizzo, one of my favorite people in the entire world. I literally worship the ground that woman walks on. And funnily enough, I just went to her concert not too long ago, so if you guys ever have an opportunity to see her live, I definitely recommend. It was such a great show, and I felt like my confidence level was just boosted to the 10. She's such a good hype woman to her fans and herself, and it just spreads so much love, and I love her so much. So with that being said, I'm wearing my little tour shirt today. It has her ass on it, but I'm not going to show you in case that's too much for YouTube. If you guys are just listeners, you have an option of watching the visuals on YouTube. And if you watch on YouTube and you're like, wow, I wish I could just listen to this while I'm, at the gym or at work or something, I do also have the episodes available on podcast platforms as well to just listen to. You can watch them, listen to them on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or iTunes, whatever you want to call it. So definitely check that out if that would be a better viewing platform for you. Listening platform. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. So anyway, yes, the topic today is some haunted experiences that Lizzo has had. I wasn't able to find too many, and the first one we're going to start off with is a little bit just more lighthearted and fun, not really paranormal, just a story of her getting scared at a haunted house. But then the next one that we're going to go into is going to be the main story of this episode, so it's definitely along the paranormal route. So stick around for that. But the first one that we're going to read is called Lizzo is Feeling Scared as Hell During a Terrifying Haunted House Experience. And I always link these articles in the description box or show notes of wherever you're watching or listening. So if you want to read along, view the little pictures that they put in there, I definitely welcome you to do so. But yeah, check those links out in the description. So this article is from eonline.com. And again, it's just more of a lighthearted scare type story, not really paranormal. So it says Halloween 2019 has officially come to a close, but not before Ellen DeGeneres could get in one last scare. During Friday's The Ellen DeGeneres Show, the host kept her hilarious Halloween tradition alive by having a show producer named Andy Lassner, aka Average Andy, escort Lizzo Arbe through a maze of terrifying sights. Andy, of course, absolutely hates being scared, but Lizzo wasn't afraid as they stepped into Pandora's Cabinet of Curiosity House at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. I'm 100% that scary ass bitch, the Truth Hurts singer said before entering the ghoulish venue. Love that. It didn't take long for that confidence to turn into straight up fear, though, as a demon jumped out and scared the pair right in the middle of their pep talk. From that point on, Lizzo was feeling scared as hell. And by demon, they literally just mean a dressed up actor. Again, this isn't a real paranormal experience, but just a little fright. Thank you, Jesus, she quipped. I'm sorry, trying to pray her way through. Then when a werewolf jumped out at them and they had nowhere to turn, the superstar did what she does best. She twerked her way out. Literally goals. I wish that my brain did that during terrible scenarios. Lizzo grabbed Andy by the sides and bravely chanted, "Get your ass out of the way." Yeah, literally. Terrifying jump scares came one right after the other as the two attempted to make their way through the haunted house relatively unscathed. "I'm sorry I used you as a shield," Lizzo joked at one point. For his part, Andy tried his best to overcome his fear with logic, but of course they stayed spooked the entire time. Lizzo made a run for it once she finally saw sunlight at the end of the tour, but of course someone was waiting there to scare her, causing the good as hell singer to literally drop to the floor in fear. "No! Y'all took my bitch out." So that was it for that story. Again, nothing too serious, just some staged type scares, but again, hilarious nonetheless. So this is where we're going to start getting into the real paranormal experience that she had. And this article is from coasttocoastam.com, and it is called Popstar Lizzo Among Those Who Experienced the Paranormal at Irish Castle. A reported hotspot for ghostly activity, Malahide Castle near Dublin, Ireland, is known as the home of a number of paranormal entities, including one especially mischievous spirit named named Puck, whom Grammy-winning singer Lizzo said was behind a prank directed at her a few years ago while she was in the country on a tour. After knocking on Puck's door while visiting the castle, the star realized her phone, which she kept in her pocket, was suddenly missing. Her team searched the castle for her phone. Lizzo went on, but it was eventually found outside in the pocket of one of the dancers on tour. Talk of haunted encounters at Malahide go back much farther than this account, however. Puck's ghost, for an example, is believed to have appeared to the castle's residents for generations past as well. Other otherworldly house guests include the spirit of Sir Walter Hussey, a newlywed suspected of being murdered on the orders of his bride. Oof, that's fucked up. Legend also has it that a woman in white depicted in a painting hanging inside the castle sometimes comes to life to roam the property, and Miles Corbett, whom lived at Malahide in the mid-1600s, was eventually convicted of high treason, hanged and drawn and quartered. That didn't stop his ghost, though, from being sighted from time to time, often split into the 4 pieces in which he was split by his executioners. Oh god, that is rough. So in another article, they are talking about the same story, but it has some direct quotes from Lizzo herself. So this is dublinlive.ie, again, linked below if you want to read it. I'm not going to read the full thing, but the part about Lizzo says, in recent years, his ghost, meaning Pug, has been known to appear around his old tower, on the staircase or in his room. Even U.S. singer Lizzo claims to have had a run-in with the jester while on tour. The Grammy winner visited the castle with her team ahead of a sold-out Dublin gig in 2019. That's right. She said sold out. Speaking to Tracy Clifford on 2FM at the time, Lizzo recalled how Puck pranked the group the day prior. The minstrel, his name is Puck, he fucked with us, she said. He took my phone and he put it in my dancer's pocket. It was so crazy. They looked all over the castle for it. Then we went in and it was in my dancer's pocket outside. She was like, how did it get in here? It happened after I knocked on his door. It's so creepy in there, but so beautiful. And that's honestly how it is for a ton of haunted places. Like, again, they have this creepy lore, but they're so stunning. And I feel like that's a part of the attraction for a lot of like paranormal type people, even like investigators. Low-key, obviously they're there for the ghost, but being able to stand in these really old, like extravagant buildings sometimes, like again, we're literally talking about a castle. It's just so stunning. So I feel like it's cool to have the experience, obviously, of, you know, being around ghosts and even trying to contact them, whether you're there to contact them or not, though. You're standing in such an astonishing building. I don't know what else to call it, but yeah, a lot of haunted buildings are very, very beautiful. So that is unfortunately it for Lizzo's haunted experiences. There was only one of them, but with our remaining time, I thought it would be really, really cool to go over Malahide Castle and all the ghosts that haunt this lovely, gorgeous castle, a little bit of the history of it, and all that good stuff. So we've got a 2-for-1 episode here, a celebrity hauntings and then just a haunted place. We love the dual purpose. And I do actually want to do a whole episode on haunted castles. And I've never heard of Malahide Castle before this. I don't believe it's not one that I heard and was like, oh, I've heard of that before. So it hasn't stuck in my brain if I have heard about it. But nonetheless, there's so many other haunted castles. So I'm just so curious to see what all this castle has to offer with its hauntings. Now, the article I'm going to be reading from is from a wiki page. It's ghost.fandom.com/wiki/Malahide Castle, blah, blah. I'm not going to say the whole link, but the reason why I'm saying it's a wiki page is because a lot of people will say to not read Wikipedia pages just because anybody can go on there and kind of like mess with the material. But this article went into a lot of detail and I really liked it. I didn't read the whole thing. You guys know I like to have my authentic reactions, but from what I skimmed, it seemed really interesting and I like the setup. So we're just going to take the chance and read along. Malahide Castle, located in Malahide, Dublin County, Ireland, is a very old and proud castle. It was built in 1185 by King Henry II of England for his friend Sir Richard Talbot. I don't know. Anywho, there's going to be a lot of Ireland names in here that I'm not going to know how to say, so sorry about that. A knight who had been helpful to the king during his travels, Richard Talbot, I'm just going to say Talbot, I'm sorry, was given the Malahide area. At one point, the Talbot family was one of the most powerful families in Ireland, to the extent that King Edward IV felt obligated to expand their castle massively, giving it towers and a larger garden. They were also Roman Catholic and were massively against the Roundheads, I don't know what that is, who took over the castle between 1649 and 1600. The castle remained in the Talbot family until 1979, when they had to sell it to the council in order to pay inheritance tax. Them taxes will get you. The castle is one of the oldest castles in Ireland and is also the most haunted, having a grand total of at least 5 ghosts haunting the castle. Miles Corbett was an English politician, Roundhead, and what was called a regicide during the English Civil War between Oliver Cromwell and the monarchy. He represented Yarmouth, and was one of the politicians who signed the death warrant for King Charles I. In fact, his signature was the very last one. He was a very strong supporter of Oliver Cromwell and the idea of a British Republic. He wanted to get rid of the monarchy like Cromwell. He was also very anti-Catholic and spent a lot of his time fighting Cavaliers, the King's Knights, against Cromwell. As a result of this, when Oliver Cromwell took over, he drove the Talbots out of Malahide Castle and then gave the Malahide area to Miles Corbett. During his time there, Miles was well known for not getting along with the local population, who were mostly Catholic. He, being against Catholicism altogether, tried to outlaw it in Malahide and started attacking the local abbey, vandalizing it at first. I don't know what abbey is other than my name. Damn, that's rough. I mean, literally, there's issues that I have with religion in general, just because I feel like sometimes people use it to protrude hate, and then they excuse it by saying, oh, well, my God says this, which I don't agree with. But regardless of that, you can't take away people's religious freedoms. But I mean, I guess that's a thing that we're told here in the United States, is that we have religious freedom, but not everybody has that. And we say that we have religious freedom, but again, we're not very equal in the US as well, where there's a lot of issues there. But I guess that concept of just like freedom of religion and, you know, all the other things that go along with that people should just have the freedom of being individuals, it comes to like, it's like a duh moment to me. Like, why would nobody have that freedom? Or why wouldn't people have that freedom, rather? So it's just crazy to see that literally people are so enraged by other people's beliefs that they're willing to attack them and like try to outlaw that belief system. That's crazy to me. But eventually he managed to get many of Cromwell's knights to completely destroy the people's place of prayer, and this earned him the reputation of being dictator. Yeah, sounds like it. In 1660, Cromwell was overthrown and executed. The monarchy was reinstated and King Charles II was put into power. He decided that he wanted to execute all 59 regicides, members of parliament who had signed King Charles I's death warrant, Corbett was of course one of them. The moment he heard of this, he fled to the Netherlands. During his time there, the Talbots simply moved back into their castle. King Charles II, however, caught Corbett 2 years later in 1662 and took him back to Malahide, where he was executed. He was hanged, drawn, then quartered as an example as to what happened to people who enjoyed the death of a king. Damn. Since then, Corbett's ghost is said to haunt the castle. His ghost can be quite unsettling. His person was quite unsettling too. I feel like all these people that we're hearing about is quite unsettling. As well as running throughout the castle every anniversary of his death at night, his ghost has also appeared other times of the year. His ghost is usually in a full suit of armor. It is also said that the ghost has a habit of falling apart into quarters reminiscent of his execution, which we heard in one of the other articles, which again is so unsettling. Then we have Walter Hussey, also known as the young Lord Galtrim, since he was the son of the Lord of Galtrim, which maybe is like a city or something around there. He had been a cavalier who had been sent to Malahide to fight Roundheads. During his time there, he fell in love with a woman, and eventually... I don't know why my voice just did that, my bad. And eventually he decided he was going to marry her. This was good news, and Hussey's father actually traveled to Malahide so that he could persuade the Talbots to let his son be wed in the castle. They agreed. Hussey was still engaged and so made an effort to stay in Malahide, but it did mean that he had to stay while the battles and the Roundheads moved elsewhere. On the morning of the wedding, Hussey was not prepared for battle but for his wedding instead. This was unlucky as he was ambushed by his rival as he traveled to Malahide Castle to be married. Damn, that's very shitty. The rival was a Roundhead with a personal grudge against him. Shocked, Hussey drew his sword, but it was too late. The Roundhead threw his spear at Hussey, killing him instantly. Damn, that's so sad. After the death of Hussey, his wife-to-be actually fell in love with his murderer, hold on, and soon married him instead. The literal worst case of betrayal I've ever heard in my life. That is crazy. I need to hear more about this woman, because she's not my type of woman. What the fuck? My mind is actually blown. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that to be the end of his story. This tragic and untimely death is remembered by Hussey's ghost. The ghost of Walter Hussey will wander throughout the castle, sometimes showing his wound from the spear. Ooh, I don't know if that's something I would want to see. It is believed by many that he is trying to tell people why he did not show up for the wedding. He is also upset that his would-be wife married his murderer. I mean, obviously. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Like, oh, that blows my mind. I know this is not how I should think, but I always assume that women are, like, not in the wrong. Like, we're bad bitches, you know, we know what to do. But yeah, that's so shitty. I hate that. Next up, we have Lord Chief Justice. Presumed to be his actual name, was a landowner and the third and last husband of Maud Plunkett, which is also somebody that we're going to go into. His ghost is closely connected to the ghost of Plunkett and is usually seen being chased throughout the castle by the ghost of his wife. Why is that kind of cute? I love that. However, Justice does have some of his own haunting behavior. Because Chief Justice was an avid bodybuilder, and spent a lot of time fighting with his wife. Oh, that's not good. So it's not like a cute little chase, but it's like a bitch I'm gonna get you chase. He spent any spare time he had exercising. And so in various parts of the castle, his ghost can be seen exercising, often going for a jog or weightlifting. Here's the thing though. What are you exercising for? Do we have to be like physically fit still in the afterlife? Because we don't have like organs anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's interesting. I guess it's just like force of habit, and obviously he probably enjoyed it as well, to work so hard to be like a bodybuilder. I would hope that there's some sort of like enjoyment there. But yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of an exercising ghost. Maud Plunkett was, as mentioned before, the wife of Chief Justice. She lived in the castle for a short time along with the Talbots. When Maud married Chief, it was her third wedding. Chief Justice was unaware of Plunkett's rather petty behavior, which had caused her last two husbands to leave her. As a result, she became very possessive of Chief Justice. Some say that she may have beaten her third husband. Oh my goodness. Even if she didn't, she certainly spent a lot of time arguing with him. Maud was apparently very violent during these fights, to the extent that Chief Justice often ran away when the arguing escalated, and Maud often chased him, so that would be why the ghosts are still chasing each other. Well, I guess her ghost is chasing his. That's so sad, though. A lot of violent women in this, which I didn't expect. I don't often expect that from history. The fights apparently got so bad that it is possible that the Talbots kicked them out of the castle. I mean, I would too. I mean, I would want to help Chief Justice, though, away from the abuse, but that shit is so crazy. Plunkett's ghost is always accompanied by the ghost of Chief Justice, or at least another anamorphic paranormal presence. She will chase her husband around the castle most of the time, which again is just so sad. Again, I feel like the life that we lead is the life that we're left with to a certain extent, and it's so sad to hear like how ghosts continue to live in their like shitty situations sometimes, because we're told like once we die, all the pain is left behind, all the trauma. You know, when we're grieving a loved one, we're often told like they're in a better place now. And it's just so sad that it could be, if your spirit doesn't like move on to whatever is beyond and it stays here, that you could literally be stuck in all of your pain, all of your trauma. That's very sad to hear. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me scared. Not that I've been through anything this bad, but if I'm a ghostie, I don't want to have to worry about all my past problems. I just want to be floating around and like pulling people's legs here and there and just enjoying being a ghost. Now we have the infamous Puck, which is the one who messed with Lizzo and stole her phone. My chin keeps hitting the microphone, and I hope you guys can't hear it, but whatever. The man who came to be known as Puck during the Tudor era was in fact the Talbots family jester. He was a dwarf measuring 4 feet tall, which I would probably say he has dwarfism, but that's just me. As well as being a jester, he was also a watchman who lived in one of the towers. He kept watch for intruders, and he also kept an eye on prisoners in the tower. Puck was well known for being reclusive and very neat when he was not working. During his time there, Henry VIII became worried of a woman named Lady Eleanora Fitzgerald and sent her away to be held prisoner in Malahide. It was Puck who was made to keep an eye on her. Surprisingly, Puck actually ended up falling in love with Fitzgerald. I could see that coming from a mile away, and at first he kept it to himself, but eventually word of this spread. The rumors did, however, warp the truth of what was actually happening, as they normally do. It was originally that someone in Malahide Castle was on side with Fitzgerald, and eventually people started conspiring that the Talbots were planning with Fitzgerald, and although this was not true, it worried the Talbots. If the rumor reached King Henry, he would possibly declare war on them. As a result, on a very snowy December morning, Puck was found stabbed just outside the castle walls. That makes me sad. I actually like Puck. It is believed that he was killed by a member of the Talbot family. Subsequently, they then started to say that Puck had killed himself. Although this is possible, it is not often believed. I don't believe that either. I think Puck was done dirty, and I hope he got his revenge. Puck had said shortly before his death that his ghost would haunt the castle, but not hurt anyone as long as a male Talbot lived there. Surely enough, Puck's ghost now haunts the castle, and his ghost seems rather live, and it cannot be predicted what he will do. Unlike the other ghosts in the castle, Puck's ghost has also been seen numerous times. He was seen during the selling of the castle in 1979. Although he has rarely been seen to manifest since, he often appears in photographs. Despite his promise, Puck has never hurt anyone, which I knew he wouldn't. That is my guy. He is a good guy, okay? We love Puck around here, point blank, period. Okay, this is actually very interesting. I didn't know that there could be comments on like wiki pages like this, but there's a comment that says, I saw on TV that Puck hung himself off the castle wall after being rejected by Lady Eleanora. Which story is the truth? Which I'm now like, which oftentimes that happens in history. What is the real truth? But that's interesting to know that there's like other versions of the stories that are so abundantly different, because we didn't even hear in this article if he actually ever ended up saying, hey, Lady Eleanora, I got the hots for you, which they kind of insinuated, but they didn't say like her response. So I mean, that's interesting for sure. So that is the end of our little story today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I like these little celebrity hauntings videos, but oftentimes there's not a lot of material per celebrity. So I feel like I'm running out of like the longer form ones, because again, normally these celebrities will only have like one experience and then that's it. So I kind of liked being able to combine, sorry, I just scratched the underneath of my table. I liked being able to combine the format of, you know, telling Lizzo's experience, but then also going further into where she had her experience. Again, I can't always do that because sometimes it'll be like in the celebrity's home, like it was with Britney Spears. But I don't know, let me know if you guys like this little celebrity hauntings video, but I definitely had to do one for my girl Lizzo. Look at how gorgeous she is. I love her. Because I just saw her and I just love her so much as a person. So with that being said, like I said before, I know I repeat it all the time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the castle, on Lizzo's experience, how Puck stole her little phone, which I think is so cute. We love Puck and I want him to be avenged. I just feel like he was done so dirty if the story that we first read was 100% true. But even still, I feel like if the thing that this person saw on TV that he hung himself after being rejected, if that is the truth, then he still got done dirty because he's a catch, and Lady Eleanora would be lucky to have him. And that's all I have to say. So yes, I want to hear your thoughts about this story. You can either follow me on TikTok, which is All Things Ghostly. I also have an Instagram, which is also All Things Ghostly. Or you can send me an email, which my email is allthingsghostlybusiness@gmail.com. While you're at it, definitely email me your paranormal experiences to the email, or I do have a community Reddit page. It's just All Things Ghostly. Again, linked below. You can go on there and write all you want to about your paranormal experiences. If you want to tell me about the episode there as well, you can. I just want to hear from you guys. I love you guys. Mwah. That's half of a heart. I could do all of a heart though. Wait. There we go. It's a little bit hard to do for my nails, or with my nails, but also I want to show you guys so bad, but you can't see. My nails are like 3D and they say love that because I say love that all of the time. So I just thought, why would I not get a set that says love that? It's like my catchphrase. So yes, without babbling on too much, this episode is coming to an end, and I would give you guys a sneak peek, but I don't know what I'm filming next or recording next, so I don't know what the next episode will be. But I will say that episode 2, or part 2, I guess you would say, of Ouija board experiences is coming, and there's going to be a little twist on the episode, so that should be the next episode or 2 after this one. Definitely look forward to that. I'm so excited to record it, and I will see you guys in that episode. I don't know if it's going to be the next one. It's probably going to be the next one. Let's just make it the next one. Yeah, I'll do the I'll do the Ouija board stories next. Anywho, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever you're doing right now. I hope it's fantastic, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Bye.